Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm so excited to bring to you my top 10 spring fragrances. I'm going to be focusing on designer and niche for this video, and then I'll have a Middle Eastern one later on this week. But I am so excited to share with you. These are gorgeous fragrances. When I think spring, I think bright, juicy, vibrant, energetic, floral. Those are the things that I gravitate towards, and I've got gorgeous fragrances for you. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And the other thing is that if you hit that notification bell, it will help. I've had a few of you saying that you're not getting the videos, like they're not popping up in your feed. So either it's like the algorithm is one of those interesting things. I upload Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. my time, which I think is Mountain Standard Time, and then 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. So you can find new content. 3 videos a week is what I put out on the whole. Like rarely will I miss, but sometimes I do. Always know that that's kind of my schedule, but feel free to hit that notification button as well if you want to be notified of the content. And let's get into this. So I want to start with the newest fragrance to my collection. I just received this one yesterday, a couple days ago, and I am so thrilled. It is Jasmine Freak by Room 1015. Now, I was really excited to try this one. Jasmine can be tricky, but I knew that there was a mango in this, so I was pretty sure I would love it. Plus, I had a feeling, like thinking about Wave Child, that this is coming out near kind of spring, summer, that this would be just gorgeous, and they did not disappoint. Like seriously, this is so freaking amazing. The notes are mango, black pepper, black currant, and sweet orange in the opening. In the heart, it has bourbon ylang-ylang, whatever that is, jasmine and tuberose, and then the base has musk and cashmere wood. The first word that I thought of to describe this is luminous. Like even the color of the juice, it just, it's like it's glowing from within. So that's what I first thought of as far as a word. When I smell this, I think bubblegum tuberose with some ylang-ylang. So those are kind of the main florals that I notice, and definitely very bubblegummy along with the mango. I don't notice any black currant or pepper. I do get a little bit of that muskiness, and this is definitely floral. So you have to like florals, but this is something that even people that struggle with florals may really enjoy. I don't really even notice any jasmine. I get mainly ylang-ylang and a tuberose feel, like bubblegum tuberose. So I think that this is beautiful. It's definitely floral, but with that mango in there, it just works so beautifully. So this is like a new favorite for mine. Like if I were to have one springtime fragrance, this would be it. Like seriously, I love it. I wore it the other day, and I did like, I don't know, probably 4 sprays. So I didn't go overboard because I was going to work. I could smell that on my skin literally all day. So all day I was getting wafts of this beautiful bubblegummy tuberose mango ylang-ylang vibe. It's so kind of like, you know, when you go outside and the warm sun hits your face and you go, and you get like just the beautiful bouquet in the air. That's the vibe that this gives. So really enjoy this one. I am so excited. This one is just as good as Wave Child, completely different, but they're both just gorgeous fragrances. So I'm so excited about this one. If you've tried it, weigh in. I just think it's amazing. And I think that lots of people, like if you like bubblegum tuberose, you're gonna love this. If you love florals with like, or fruity florals, you're gonna love this one. Like it's just so gorgeous. And the mango isn't too sweet. Sometimes mango to me goes a little bit body splash feeling, which is fine. But this is just really luxe smelling, but still being playful and fun. So this is such I'm so thrilled with this. Thinking about a fruity floral fragrance, another one that fits in that same category is Love at First Sight by Une Nuit Nomade. This one is absolutely beautiful for spring. Now the floral in this one is lilac, and you definitely get, it's the most beautiful lilac. Like when I smell it, I almost feel teary, and I'm not a huge lilac fan, but it reminds me of my childhood. And in this perfume, there's something about it that feels like a gloriously wonderful memory. I don't know what it is, but when I smell it, I have a hard time not feeling teary every single time. So you get this beautiful lilac, which is quite sweet, a little bit powdery. And then with it is this beautiful passion fruit note that really keeps it from getting overly floral or cloying. I find florals can be challenging because I find that they can feel a little cloying, but the passion fruit in this just keeps this staying fresh and modern. It also has acacia and ambroxan. I don't know what those do. What I do notice is just a hint of green. So it'd be like you're smelling the foliage and the floral of the lilac bush. That's what this gives me, along with this beautiful passion fruit. So really enjoy this one. Both of these kind of fit that same category of being kind of luminous, airy, beautiful, fruity florals that are juicy and quite fascinating, because it's very, very floral. Both of these are very, very floral, but with that fruit in there, it just makes it smell like you're smelling sunshiny spring air. So love these two. I'm gonna give you an affordable fragrance. It's Quatre by Boucheron. This is such a beautiful, it's just a beautiful kind of sparkling, citric rose fragrance. So slightly aquatic, a little bit effervescent feeling. It'd be like if you had a rose infused seltzer or some sort of water with a rose infusion in there, which I've never had, but I'm just imagining. So you get lots of bubbles in there, but then also this beautiful kind of grapefruity, citric vibe, like you've squeezed some grapefruit in there or you're smelling the grapefruit. So I just really think that this is a refreshing perfume. It's very classy, sophisticated, but it is so, so affordable. There's a few of these Quatre fragrances are really nice. There's one, I think it's Quatre Red, and it is very similar to C by Armani. So, but this one, it just smells beautiful. It would be similar to something like an Idole, like the original Idole, or something like a Chanel Chance Au Tendre. But this one, to me, has a little bit more of an aquatic feel than Chanel Chance Au Tendre, but they're both kind of that citric rose fragrance. So very refreshing. This is a perfect signature fragrance, perfect for spring and summer, really easy reach. Works in the daytime, works for office, all of that stuff. So this is a great buy, and it's decent longevity. So you're going to get 5 to 6 hours out of it for sure. I thought about saving this one for the summer, but honestly, I just enjoy it as a floral for spring just as much. And that is Dolce & Gabbana's Dolce Garden. So this has been around for a long time, but seriously, I'm always excited to pull this one out for spring and summer. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, none of the Dolce fragrances are as good as the Garden one. Like the Garden one to me is the absolute best. I've smelt, I think, pretty much all of them, and I enjoy quite a few of them, but Garden, by far my favorite. This has a lot of ylang ylang and frangipani, so it has a bit of a tropical vibe for sure. There's almond in this, there's some neroli, magnolia, orange, coconut. But I would say that more than coconut, I smell some almond in here. So the almond and vanilla mixed with that ylang ylang and frangipani just creates this really kind of warm nectar-like fragrance that makes me think of being on some other planet. You know, Fifth Element, where they go to Lubaloo or some sort of weird world that is like the vacation destination of the galaxy. Like it's just beautiful kind of resort planet that's got beautiful whatever. This is what the air smells like on Lubaloo or whatever I don't have a clue what the name of the place was, but this is what that place smelled like. There's turquoise pink, almost unicorn-esque dolphins and beautiful kind of parrots, and the air is just permeating in this smell, and you have pink sunsets, and the ocean is this gorgeous azure blue, and you're just basking in the glory of it all. And then you go walking and you smell the frangipani and the ylang ylang as you're sipping on some sort of delicious drink. That's the vibe I get from this. It's super relaxing, and it smells like if you squeezed out the nectar in this planet, this would be what you would get. So really enjoy this. It's very, very sweet. Really enjoy this fragrance. Another fragrance that is affordable, that is just, to me, a must-have, is Trussardi Donna. I just love this bottle. I think it's so gorgeous. The fragrance. This gets a 4.01 rating on Fragrantica out of 6,000 votes. So that tells you just how fantastic this fragrance is. It's long lasting, it's affordable, and absolutely signature scent worthy. So this has some fruity notes. It's got some yuzu and some Amalfi lemon in the opening. In the heart, it has jasmine, orange flower, and lotus. And then the base is vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, and cedar. I definitely get some white florals in here. The star of the show is this gorgeous lemon yuzu combination that's slightly sweet but not too sweet. It's not too citric feeling, like it doesn't feel like cleaning product or anything with that amount of lemon in it. It also smells somehow creamy, a little bit creamy. So I think of like a creamy lemon custard, but it's not as gourmand as that because of those white florals. This is a freshie for non-freshy lovers. So it smells fresh. It feels almost cooling. It's very refreshing feeling. It stays beautiful on the skin for so long, like a good 8 hours, but you smell so classy and put together. It's not too anything. It's not too floral. It's not too fruity. It's just perfection. Like seriously, it's a phenomenal fragrance. So really, really enjoy this one. So excited to pull this one out. These have all been away for the winter, so I'm so excited to have them back out in my collection, or very soon. Now, when I think spring, I think florals, as I said, and so I wanted to include an iris fragrance. And just so you know, in all these top 10 lists, you could put mallow at the top of all of them. So I'm not including it because I talk about it so much, but I feel disloyal because I love that fragrance so much. So it's not in this list, but of course it's a perfect spring fragrance. Angelica Florae by Ruse and Ruse is a gorgeous iris fragrance that is perfect for spring. I love the sprayer on this. It's got the iris, but there's something juicy about this. There's no fruity notes that are listed in here, but there's a sweet quality to this that's absolutely gorgeous. There's also kind of an effervescence to me to this one as well. It's got Angelica Star Anise in the top. In the heart, it has black pepper, pink pepper, jasmine, and iris. And then the base is more Angelica and patchouli. And for me, I definitely get those florals. The jasmine is understated. It doesn't smell too indolic or anything like that. It's actually quite sweet. The iris is absolutely beautiful in here. It's just a very, to me, well-blended fragrance. It has a similarity to La Vie Belle, but I would say more like the iris La Vie Belle that came out. It's a little bit more similar to this, but this one to me is a little bit more rounded. It's a little bit more soft without losing any sort, like I find La Vie Belle to be very loud. This fragrance is a little bit more understated. It projects beautifully, it wears beautifully. If you like that irisy component to La Vie Belle, I think you would like this one. It's not the same as that, and there is a hint of green in here with the Angelica, but it's quite sweet. It's a very feminine. I feel like this is a very ethereal type fragrance, and it smells very put together, sophisticated, all of those good things. Great one for spring for sure. I wanted to include a fragrance that I feel like is kind of great for nighttime in the spring, and it is Dolce & Gabbana's The Only One Intense. Now, I believe this is discontinued, but you can still get it on the discount sites. And I'll have all the fragrances linked down below so you can go check them out. But this one, if you like Rouge Malachite, this has that same vibe. There's something uber relaxing about this. I get quite a lot of florals, and although it's not listed in here, it feels like there should be some ylang ylang or something like that in there, but instead you have jasmine, orange blossom, and neroli. There's some apple, some orange, some coconut. This has a booziness to it that I really enjoy. I think the booziness comes from the coconut, maybe the orange, I don't know. The only thing about this one is in the past, I haven't really enjoyed the dry down as much because it got quite woody. Now I'm really enjoying a little bit of a woody dry down. So this one I think is absolutely gorgeous. It's uber sexy, but it doesn't feel too heavy or thick. Coming out of the winter, you know, you kind of almost get sick of those heavy ones. By the, you know, midsummer, I'm craving after all of those heavy, dark, deep, exciting fragrances. But this one to me is a gorgeous evening fragrance. It smells uber sexy. There's something kind of relaxing about it. I don't know. I just really enjoy this. And yeah, it definitely gives me Rouge Malachite vibes. Love the florals in this. Love that kind of slightly boozy feel that I get from this one. Just love this fragrance. For a while, I was considering getting rid of it because I was struggling with that woodiness. Now I'm so glad I have it. Another designer fragrance that I always think of in spring. I know I talk about this one quite a lot, but it's so freaking good. And it is Scandal à Paris by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Now this is actually, I believe it's an eau de toilette, but it performs, I would say, like a perfume. Like it's moderate in projection, longevity, all of that stuff. So about 6 hours. This is pear. It smells like a little bit more of a fresh pear. La Belle smells more like a cooked spice pear. This is more like a juicy, fresh pear mixed with honey and jasmine. And I definitely get the jasmine in this. This is so freaking sexy. I love wearing this one to bed. I love wearing this one in the evening. I love wearing this one in the day. It's just a happy one. So some of these are more like sophisticated, airy, whatever, like the Jasmine Freak to me, it's a modern take on a fruity floral. This is just a fun take on a fruity floral. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy the honey in this, but it's pretty potent. To me, this is spring in a bottle. Like Scandal à Paris, it should have been called Spring in a Bottle. Love, love, love this one. I love the juiciness of the pear. I love the honey. It feels like you've taken a jasmine flower and you've dipped it in honey, and then you're holding that and you're eating a juicy pear. There's a lot of liquids that are flowing and it's yummy. So I love this fragrance. Benjoin en Fleur by Claudio Zucca is such a fantastic fragrance for spring and summer. I love this fragrance. I always enjoy wearing this. There's like, you know how you put on a fragrance and you just love wearing it the whole entire, it makes your day better. Like, you know how fragrance can actually make your day better? This fragrance makes my day better every single solitary time because it smells a little bit like clean bubble gum. Like, this is the clean fragrance for me. I'm not a clean fragrance girl, but the florals in it are so fantastic, but it doesn't smell like a floral fragrance. Benjoin en Fleur has red fruits, blueberry, cherry, apple, and bergamot in the opening. In the heart, it has ylang ylang, jasmine, frangipani, champaca, heliotrope, orange blossom, and vanilla. And then the base is benzoin, amber, and musk. So lots of fruits in here. Lots of florals, but to me, it's just blended in such a way that it comes across as clean bubblegum, if that makes sense. It's not powdery, it's sweet, but not too sweet. It feels airy, it feels relaxing. It's got just, like, I just think it's a well-rounded, beautiful smelling fragrance. This is one that is great for the office. It's great as a signature fragrance. It smells sweet, but there's some sort of clean vibe in here. It smells edible, but not like food somehow. Like it smells like you'd want to lick it, kind of, but it doesn't smell like cake, if that makes sense. So really, really enjoy this one. I just think it's kind of fun. There's a bit of whimsy to this somehow, but it smells uber feminine, and it smells easy to wear. So love this one for spring and summer. And honestly, I put a decent dent in this one. So really, really enjoy this fragrance. The last of my top 10 for spring is Ylop by Dora. Now this is definitely a polarizing fragrance, but I just freaking love it. This one smells really juicy. It's got apricot and apple as far as the fruit notes are concerned. And I definitely get a lot of that apricot. But there is a bit of an apple vibe in here that is reminiscent to something like Yanni or Janny, or anything that has a bit of an apple vibe in it. So a little bit apple juice feel, but heavy on the apricot. This has tea in it. There's almond, there's sesame, there's rosemary, osmanthus, and osmanthus floral smells quite apricot-y. I don't know if I would say that I notice the floral aspect of this. It smells like a very interesting gourmand. It has vanilla and vetiver in it as well. When you first put this on, it smells a little bit bizarre because of that rosemary. But to me, what it smells like, have you ever had one of those crackers that has the almonds in it, and then they put rosemary in it and a little bit of apricot or peach, dried peach in it, and they bake it? It's like coastal chips, I think it's called. Anyway, when you combine that little bit of savory, it kind of balances out the sweet of the almond and the sweet and the nuttiness of the almond and the apricot, dried apricot in there. So imagine that with a spread of apricot jam on it, and you're getting that rosemary coming through, just kind of balances the whole entire thing out. I don't really notice the tea, maybe a little bit in the dry down, but then as this dries down, it just becomes this beautiful, soft, slightly fluffy apricot vanilla. And I love it. I feel like this sits a little closer to the skin. It projects for a bit, but then sits closer to the skin. This is not for everybody because of that rosemary. It's going to throw some people off. The sesame may throw some people off. But like when I wore it, like at first I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake? At first I was like a little unsure, but then I was so in love with the dry down being kind of like that fluffy apricot vanilla, more vanilla than apricot. It just ends up being really quite smooth, slightly fluffy feeling, airy somehow, and just really quite delicious. So I enjoy this one, but this one would be very polarizing to me. So you've got to test it before you buy it for sure. On this one, this is not a safe blind buy, but I really think it's interesting. Like it's different. It's something I haven't smelt before. So really enjoy this one. So that is it. Out of all 10 that I've mentioned, these are the 3 that I'm most excited about. So Jasmine Freak, it's new. I love the mango with the ylang ylang and tuberose. Just think that this is gorgeous. So really excited about this one. Really, really love Benjoin on Fleur. It's just an easy reach. You just smell good. You smell clean. I don't know. I just love this one. And then for an affordable, it would be Trussardi Donna. This is seriously a workhorse of a fragrance. Great longevity. It smells expensive, but so affordable. So this is fantastic. All 3 of these, amazing. Really, everything on this list is fantastic. Like you can't go wrong with any of these, except for Ylop, that may be a little bit too much for some people. What about you? What are you excited to wear for the spring? I would love to know. So please leave your list you don't have to leave 10. You can leave however many you want, but leave your list and weigh in on these free fragrances. If you've tried them, weigh in. All thoughts are welcome as long as they're respectful. So I love it when you guys don't like something and you voice that. It's so important. If we're a community and this is a bit of a perfume forum, it's really important that we hear people that don't have the same experience as me. So never be afraid to share if you go, I don't know what she's smelling, but I smell stink. Like, feel free to share that. And that is it. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon. And happy spring! Like, I'm so pumped.